Hi ladies, Dionysia here, and wanted to take some time out to speak with you here today about a topic that was brought to my attention on Crete in Priestess Convocation, but specifically related to being in relationship to men. So I went to one of the elder priestesses at that convocation who she's actually the woman who birthed this whole idea for the women to gather, for the priestesses to gather on Crete. She's an incredible priestess herself. She's been in the women's movement, the feminine movement, the feminist movement, the global goddess traditions, priestess movement for 50 years. Like, she's an incredible woman, an elder. And I joined her for lunch one day, largely because I wanted to share with her what an impact she's had on my life and how much I appreciate her for all that she's done to pave the path ahead of me so that I get to walk it now. And as we were conversing, she said to me, "Sister, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." And she said, a personal question. And she said, "Are you in a relationship? Are you single?" And I was like, "Well, I'm single." And so we had this conversation about why I'm single and what I'm looking for. And she said, "Well, I'm going to give you some advice." And I said, "Okay." And she said, "It's really important that you choose a man who knows that women are superior to men." Now, that's a big statement, and I'm going to speak more about that as I go along in the video. But she went on to say, please don't ever let a man dim your light. You are such a light. You need to choose a man who's going to see that and uplift that and uphold that in you, and never, ever be in a relationship with somebody who's going to dim your light. And I really appreciated hearing that from her. And it's a thing that I often say to women in coaching, when we're coaching about their relationships, is that you need a man who's going to see you for who you are and who's going to want that to grow, who wants to add to it and help it expand. So as she talked to me about men who know that women are superior, she said, and this is something that I actually deeply feel in my being, we are the bearers of life. We bleed monthly and we don't die. Humans grow inside of our bodies and we feed them. And it doesn't matter if you're a woman who never gave birth or won't give birth. That doesn't matter. You're still built to do that. Your biology, your psyche, your emotional body, your nervous system is built to be able to do those things. And that means that you have certain qualities and skills that men just don't have. Those things come with that goddess given ability. Men are wonderful. A lot of men are wonderful. Not all men are wonderful. But wonderful men have wonderful attributes, and we can appreciate them and we can love them and we can, want them in our lives and desire them, but they are not the same as we are. And they are especially not the same in this regard. So I went on to share this conversation with my daughter, who's 25, and that kind of, the statement that women are superior to men raised her hackles, right? So we had a very lively, sparkling conversation about why that was so offensive to her. And, she's of a generation that truly believes in equality and that we are all equal as beings and as people. And in that regard, I actually do agree with that we all should have equal right to our happiness and to pursue our freedom and to pursue our happiness and to not be threatened and to get to be whatever our sexuality is and get to be whatever our gender choice is and get to be equal in those things. However, biologically, a woman is built differently than a man is. And at a biological level, we are the superior. Think about it this way, and you've probably heard me say this before. It just really got highlighted for me by this priestess saying this to me in this gathering that we were in. If you are the creator and you have two beings, and those two beings need to come together in some way to create a third being so that the species you've created continues. And one of those two beings is going to have to hold the new being in its body and then birth it and feed it from its body. which of those two beings are you going to give greater power to? Which of those two beings has to have the greater power to be able to do that thing? It's just logical. And we have lived in a male-dominated world for upwards of 5,000 years now, in which somehow we have allowed men to convince us, by and large, that they are the superiors. They have the bigger thinking capacity. They are the logical ones. They are the ones that focus for long periods of time. They have convinced us that their natural set of attributes is actually the superior set of attributes. And that is completely backwards. That is flipped upside down. And before that system, those systems got installed on our planet, women knew and men knew, people knew. Woman is the bigger force of energy. Woman is the embodiment of nature. Woman is the bigger set, the more powerful set of attributes. It's just logical. And especially way before, men, by and large, started dissecting everything. So we see this even as it plays out in society today in all kinds of ways. One thing that comes to my mind right now is the medical establishment. By and large, what we know about the human body from a medical perspective is about the male body. This is why it is still common practice that when a perimenopausal woman walks into a doctor's office and says, I have 10 symptoms, none of them make any sense to me, I'm freaking out, I don't know what this means, I'm losing my mind, I'm moody as hell, doctors say, well, I don't find anything wrong with you. Clearly, this is in your head. They write in their notes that this is a WW. They are taught in medical school, write in your notes, this is a WW, a whiny woman. That is some bullshit, ladies. So that is one example of so many of how we have allowed rational, logical, thinking male, and those are wonderful attributes of the male, but they are not more powerful than everything that happens in a woman's body and her being for creation. So, as you can see, I'm very passionate about helping us all return to the correct framing of things here. And I imagine that there are many of you who, for whom this is not difficult to grasp. This is not difficult to go, yeah, actually there's something to that, if you don't know it or believe it already. But my point in sharing all of this with you today is that I think we are in the changing times such that we as women, we are the rising tide in answer to all of this crumbling that we are witnessing and watching. All of how the intensity of misogyny and racism and bigotry has grown, and all of the ways that social media can be used to further that AI can be used to further that all of these unnatural ways of being are furthering that agenda. And it is an agenda. And that when we remind ourselves and come back into the truth of ourselves, of who we are and what we actually are, then we can see the power that we have to rise up against that en masse, not just women, but men who support women, or other gendered people who also support the ideals of woman and woman's empowerment and woman power. So I'm here to say, ladies, that in this regard, we are the superiors. And that actually bleeds out into how we think, how we create, how we emote, how we express. This is really hugely important for us as women to get. And it's hugely important for the people who love us to get. And from that place, we can become the force of nature that's going to rise up and carry us forward as all of this other stuff continues to crumble and fall away. Those are the changing times that we are in. Every prophecy on this planet has talked about it. The Mayan prophecy talks really succinctly about it. We have an opportunity here to really embrace this about ourselves and pick ourselves up and understand and claim and embody and live in the power that we are. And again, it does not mean you have to give birth or have to have given birth to be able to experience that power. It is inherent in our nature. There are all kinds of ways and practices that we can use to do that, but it is definitely inherent in our nature. So just wanted to share that with you today. And to that end, I have this class coming up that I've created to sort of help us do that, to help us understand a woman's radiance, a woman's power, our spiritual power. Spiritual woman, who is she? What is her power? And this class is going to focus on first our discernment and our boundaries, because we need that as we make this shift back to right relationship in the thinking of our planet. And then we're going to be talking about that actually before Thanksgiving, so that if there are any of you who are walking into family relationships for Thanksgiving, you're going to have the opportunity to sort of like nurture and fortify yourself. If there's conflict in your family relations around the state of the world and affairs, our need as women to hone our discernment about who we share with and what we share with them and when and how is huge. And then our boundaries that we use to contain ourselves and hold ourselves in a good way and protect that light that we're wanting to, build and shine. Class 2 is going to focus on exactly that. How do we build the light? I'm going to be offering you some tremendously deep esoteric and practical practices for daily cultivation of your own sense of your own light, your power. Class 3, we're going to be talking about how do you shine that light into the world. So what do you do in your day-to-day and in your sphere of influence that's about shining your light? And how do you do that in a way that you are also protected? You are also kept safe. So, a lot of us for women, especially if we have or have had in our past life experiences a priestess role or a powerful woman role, we have a lot of fear about actually embodying and sharing our power in this lifetime, because on some level, conscious or unconscious, we remember what happened to powerful women. But the thing is, none of us are standing on a pyre right now with somebody holding a torch about to set it on fire. Like, we're not there anymore. And there are ways to clear all of those things. We're going to be talking about that in class 3, and we're going to be talking about how to, help any of that clear from your being if you're running things like that, and get to be more powerful, more strong in your shine and how you shine your light into the world. Because right now, our world, it needs our light. It needs us. It needs the women who are holding our light to shine it stronger. So that's what this upcoming class is about. I'd love to see you there. If you have any questions about it, or you're thinking about it and you're not sure if it's the right fit for you, feel free to email me at support@dionysia.com. That's in the email below, along with a link that you can click to go see all of the description of this class series. It's a 3-class series. We're gonna get in there and be succinct and be potent about it, so that it's done way before you get into the holiday fever, and you've got some tools to equip yourself in managing all of that, but you're also gonna get to take that with you into those holy day experiences, where we're, those holy day experiences about shining the light, bringing the light into the darkness. So again, this is such a heart offering for me, as I'm so passionate about encouraging women to be in their power and assisting and supporting women to be in their power. So it's a deep heart offering. I'd love to see you there. Reach out if you have any questions, and click on that link and check out all the details. By the way, if you enjoy the content on this channel, please click the subscribe button, so that you get each new video as it comes out, and also you help me continue to be able to bring you free content like this, so that spreading the word really helps me to be able to do that. By the way, If you enjoy the content that you're receiving through me, please go click the subscribe button on my channel. Spreading the word, getting this information out to other people who would appreciate it really helps, is a way that you can be in service to help other people. And it also really helps me to be able to continue to bring you free content like this. So again, if you enjoy this content, I hope you'll click that subscribe button, help me out. And I hope to see you in class.